A very good afternoon and welcome to your lunchtime news bulletin. I'm Katharina Chang. Let's take a look at what's making headlines this afternoon. Killed off Indian ex-Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi escapes death sentences. The convicted men are sentenced to life. Harvesting during the Yala season at risk due to insufficient water and less rainfall. And on international desk, EU investigators say that Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un should face international justice for ordering systematic torture. And now taking a look at those stories in detail. India's Supreme Court today commuted the death sentence of 3 men convicted of killing former Indian Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi to life in prison.
According to Indian media, the government of state of Tamil Nadu will decide whether to release them by granting them remission. Court granted relief to the 3 convicted men, namely Sandhan, Murugan and Perarivaran, agreeing that there had been an 11-year delay in deciding on their mercy plea. The 3 were convicted in 1998 for the assassination of Rajiv Gandhi in 1991. Their mercy petition that was sent to the President of India in 2000 was rejected. The hanging was stayed in 2011 on the orders of Madras High Court. Murugan's wife was also sentenced to death, but it was commuted to life.
President Mahinda Rajapaksa says that the current government has identified the importance of Piriven education and had rendered its support to uplift it. President Mahinda Rajapaksa made this comment at an event held yesterday at the Sri Dharmapala Piriven in Bellana. This event was held to mark 100 years of the Sri Dharmapala Mahapirivena in Bellana, Agalavatta. The event was organized under the patronage of the Chief of the Kotte Kalyani Samshri Mahasangha Sabha, Agga Pandita, Most Venerable Bellana Sri Jnana Vimala Thera, and was attended by the Mahasangha and politicians.
මහිතනවා අපේ රජය පිරිවෙන් අධ්‍යාපනයට විශේෂයෙන්ම විශාලම දායාදයක්.
I believe that the current government has rendered a great service than the previous governments for the betterment of the Piriven education. We have increased the funds of scholarships and the funds for monks. We did all of this because of the service we rendered for the Piriven education and because we understand its importance.
And also on headline news, the Department of Irrigation says that there is a risk of farmers not being able to cultivate during the Yala season this year, as many districts across the island have no insufficient water. Director of the Water Management Unit attached to the Department of Irrigation, Janaki Migastana, said that harvesting did not take place during the Maha season as well. In close proximity to the Padavia tank in Anuradhapura, the Mahakandharava tank in Yodavava and in Mena, as well as a result of the scarcity of water.
The Department of Irrigation has currently recorded water levels at 46%. We have no issue in distributing water during the Maha season, but presently we are careful as to what harvest season we need to supply water to. We may be able to supply water for paddy fields in Ampara, Batiklo and Ambanthoda districts, while water distribution may only be limited to other agricultural crops grown in other districts. Janaki Migastana added that farmers have diverted into producing different harvests, which include vegetable farming as means of water management. Meanwhile, the Sri Lanka Mahaweli Authority notes that if sufficient rainfall is not received in paddy fields surrounding the Mahaweli Reservoir, it will be difficult to release water for harvesting purposes during the Yala season. Director General of the Mahaweli Authority, Gamini Rajakarna, stated that inadequate rainfall will also lead to shortages of drinking water.
One asylum seeker has been killed and 77 injured during a second night rioting at Australia's immigrant detention centre in Papua New Guinea. Australian Immigration Minister said that the news of a death at the Manus Island was a great tragedy. The rioting comes after some of the detainees briefly escaped from the detention centre on Sunday. Manus Island hosts one of the Australia's offshore processing camp for 1,300 asylum seekers. The Immigration Minister added that one of those injured was in critical condition with a skull fracture and another 22 were currently being treated. 8 asylum seekers have been arrested in connection to the incident.
Glass panels on marquee doors were smashed, however they are made of...
Meanwhile, the JVP says that the government is attempting to deceive the people and win the forthcoming elections by portraying the Human Rights Council in Geneva. International Affairs Secretary of the JVP, Somawansa Amarasinghe, made this comment yesterday in Kaduwala.
On the 28th of March, the Human Rights Council will convene in Geneva. Teach them a lesson on the 29th when you cast your vote. What will the patriotic people receive after casting their votes? That is their way of behavior. Understand that these are all lies made to deceive the people of this country. They appointed persons as ambassadors who have never cited an embassy, let alone the External Affairs Ministry.
Now, 4 persons connected to the homicide of an individual by splitting his throat in Kolonava have been arrested by the police.
The police said that the gruesome murder which took place on the night of the 7th of this month and the suspects were arrested last night by the Crimes Investigations Unit and the Intelligence Unit of the Nugegada Police. Information has revealed that the suspects have invited the victim to have a soft drink that had been mixed with a drug and then killed him over a personal dispute. The police also said that the sharp weapon believed to have been used to commit the murder was discovered in a well in the Adarupa stream in Colombo. The police have also seized a motorbike, a 3-wheeler and 3 mobile phones from the suspects.
Wildlife officers in Trincomalee have commenced tending to an elephant that has taken ill in the Vilgamvehera area. The local police and residents are assisting the wildlife officers in this task. The elephant that had arrived in close proximity to the settlements in Vilgamvehera on the Anuradhapura Trincomalee main road last morning was reported to be ill. The local residents and the Upaveli police had informed the matter to the Trincomalee Wildlife Office. Subsequently, the officers commenced providing medication to the ill elephant. Our correspondent added that the elephant was found lying in close proximity to a garbage dump which the Trincomalee Municipal Council utilized to dispose garbage. It has been revealed that the elephant had consumed polythene as food. The wildlife officer of the Trincomalee Wildlife Office, Eja Vardhana, stated that the elephant has been kept under observation. Well, that concludes this edition of Lunchtime News. It was a pleasure having you with us. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Katharina Chang. Have a pleasant day ahead.